Hello and welcome to another rebuild. We're going to Germany and we're going to try and do something with SV Werder. They enjoyed their greatest era during the 1990s, and despite not having won anything for 13 years, they still have had a successful history with 16 competition wins, winning the German top division in 65, 88, 93 and as recent as 2004, so quite a while since winning the league and finishing runners up 7 times. They did win the Winners' Cup in 1992 and runners up in the Super Cup in 92, and also finished runners up in the UEFA Europa League in 2009 as well. So we're going to try and get them back to winning the league, although that is going to be very, very difficult with the way Bayern Munich have been playing and the money and the players that they have got. It's going to be very, very difficult to steal it from them. They have got a very high reputation though, a 3.5-star reputation, which is pretty good. And their media prediction for this season is to finish in 16th position. The first window is closed off, so there'll be no transfers. We'll be taking what's been done already, both the last summer and the January window. And £500,000 a week in wages, that's quite high. With the favoured formation, the 3 or the 5-1-2-2. We'll obviously try and utilise that formation if we can. I'm not a fan of it, but we'll see. With a couple of loan obligations with Maximilian Philipp, Mina and Krat. So the best 11 there, they've got Dux, Fulkrug, Kruev, Stage, Gross, Young, Weiser, Stark, Velikovic, Piper and Pavlenka. They want to strive to make progress on and off the pitch, work within the wage budget, become an established Bundesliga team and be competitive in the DFB Pokal. Last winning it in 2009, I think it was. Work towards recording a Bundesliga top half finish. Top half finish, top half finish, top half finish. That's where they want us to be, in the top half. Well, we're going to try and get a little bit more than that and get them back into Europe as well. A quick look at the staffing. A lot to be desired, it has to admit, but I'm sure we can do something with that. So in the Bundesliga, they have been finishing round about the 10th position mark. 2009-10 finishing 3rd, 2nd in 708. They did win it in 2004 was the last one. So that's when they were quite involved. They did finish 2nd in the 21-22 season. That was in the Bundesliga 2 though. So they did get promoted back after being relegated. So they did that the first time of asking. And obviously in this first season, we are going to try and stay up here and try and get a top half finish. But yeah, they have been teetering around the 10th position, mid-table and below. But before that, they have been reasonably in the top 10, which is quite an achievement. The finances, £4.5 million. And any debts, apart from £5 million transfer debt, £29 million net debt. And they have got a couple of bank loans. One they are not paying any interest on, apparently. There's another one there for £12 million as well. Quick look at their squad then. Let's have a go by ability. Nicholas Stark, 27-year-old centre-back. Somebody we can definitely work around at the moment. Looks okay. 6'3". 29-year-old Nicholas Fulkrug. Striker. Okay. Oh, very good finishing as well, actually. He's 29 years old. That's the unfortunate thing. 29 goals in 60 games for Werder, which isn't too bad at all, actually. It's quite good. You want a striker who's going to be scoring goals for you. 1 in every 2 games. A winger or a cam, possibly. Right, left midfield. Right midfield. Pretty decent. And a winger, more Leonardo Bittencourt. He is 28 years old. Got very good dribbling, and physicals look pretty good as well. 24-year-old Piper. Again, centre-back. Again, pretty decent. Fitness, jumping reach, stamina, strength. Looks quite good. Marking and heading. Maximilian Philipp, Cam. Surprised to let him go out on... I think he's on loan. I'm not quite sure. Oh, he's on loan to us. Okay, so that's pretty good then. So we can actually utilise him in a cam role if need be. Milos Velkovic. Again, another centre-back, which is good to know as well. 26-year-old. We've got 24-year-old. And I think, did we have a 28-year-old as well, which is pretty good. Stats-wise, again, looks very, very decent. We don't seem to have any right backs or anything like that. Or left. Oh, we may do. Friedel. Got a couple of strikers. What else have we got? Jens Stage, 25-year-old central midfielder. Definitely work around him, and he's here for at least another 4 years, which is an added bonus. Pavlenka, the goalkeeper, 30 years old, 6'5" as well. Good jumping reach, aerial reach. That's not impressive. He must have short arms. One-on-ones, perfect. Reflexes, perfect. Wow. Okay, number one goalkeeper then. Just unfortunate he is 30 years old. Then we're getting into some of the youngsters like Felix Agu. Is he left or right back or both? He can play both actually. He can play wing back as well though. So maybe the formation of 3 wing backs, midfielders might work for us. Something we will have to look at though. But if he can play there, that might be the way to go. Very, very physical with acceleration pace. Looks really, really nice. 21-year-old Buchanan. English as well, 21. Left back, or he can play wing back as well. Him and Agu, that could be quite something for us. Very good potential as well, and stats wise doesn't look that bad at all. And another youngster who's got quite high potential also is Eren Dinkshi, 20 years old, 5'10", striker. I thought that was finishing then for a minute. This finishing is 11. Other than that, not too bad. Possibly more of a winger, I would have thought. But again, pretty decent. Somebody we can hang on to at least anyway and hopefully grow into the roles. If we have a look at our under-21s, again, a couple of youngsters. The goalkeeper, Casper, 18 years old, high potential. Okay, stats-wise still can grow. That's not quite good. Not as high potential yet. Just 117. Hopefully that would grow quite a bit. Our under-19s have a few more. And look at our second team. Is there anybody we can steal to come into the first team straight away? 19-year-old Salifu, young midfielder. He's a hot prospect or future prospect. Just don't think he's ready yet. 19 years old, 6'3". Have a look at some of the transfers that went through then this season. There's quite a lot. There's Stage came in for 3.4 million. We've got Bobson, Stark, Piper, Hawk, Salifu. Undisclosed for Emerson as well from Victoria. He's sitting in now under 19. So they are buying for the future by looks in the young American. Buchanan came in from Derby for 400,000. Philip as well out coming on loan. Kratamina as well. And losing a few other players as also. So let's first off sort out a tactic, and then we'll come back after the window has shut for the start of the season. So the formation, we are going to be going with wing backs, but they're going to be pushed a bit further up with the defence sitting slightly further back. It's not a formation I like, I'm not going to lie. It's I'm uncomfortable with it. It's almost a 3 and 4 in midfield, but the wing backs are going to be up and down. Same with the wingers as well. We have got wingers, so we might as well utilise them. And we've also playing a complete forward up front. Although, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather have an advanced forward or a pressing forward at this point who's available. We have got a couple of players that can play in that position anyway, with a lot of players that can fill in the majority of the positions. But I want to use Buchanan on this left hand side. He has got high potential, and I want to see what he can do. However, the results haven't gone quite our way. We did get some wins in the friendlies, a couple of losses. We did win it in the first round of the German Cup, 2-1 against Zlendorf, with Fulkrug netting both goals before they got one back. And then we didn't score a goal in the league until the fourth game. We had 2-0 nils and 1-0 loss to Dortmund, which on paper is not too bad a result. But I would have expected to beat Stuttgart at least. 0-0 against Wolfsburg's not too bad considering we've just come up and we did lose to them in the friendly. And Frankfurt we drew 1-1. Yeah, I'm disappointed we didn't get any wins in there, and even more so just the one goal. We are lying in 14th position. 16th is where we're probably predicted, like I said at the beginning. However, 3 points so far, 1 loss. I'll take it at the moment, and we are literally down at the bottom really. 150-1 though, which isn't too bad to be fair when you got Union Berlin, Stuttgart who we drew with, Cologne, Augsburg as well on 100-1. But we should be beating teams around us at least anyway, and we should be surviving. And look at that Dream 11 It is Bayern Munich sweeping every position apart from Werner and Jude Bellingham. So without any further ado, let's go and see if we can survive our first season, then build on it from next season going forward. Can we do what they did this season in real life? They are mid-table currently. The season's over and we just escape relegation. I think it was a playoffs that we actually won in. We'll have a look at the results in just a second, but not a great showing. 8 wins, 22 goals scored. That's it. Ironically, 3 of them against Bayern Munich. 22 goals scored. That is really, really poor. However, we only conceded 46, minus 24 goal difference. That is really poor. So needless to say, we won't be using that particular formation. That's for sure. And understandably, we've got nobody in the top 6 best players or goal scorers. But if we have a look at the playoffs, we did win the first leg 4-0 and then the second leg 2-1, so winning 6-1 overall. Thankfully, we stay up. We survive. If we filter through our results, then we did have a couple of good wins at Bochum and Augsburg, though. We lose to Leverkusen. We don't get many wins at all. We go on a really poor run without scoring goals as well. We lose 4-0 against Bayern Munich, 4-1 against Schalke. Wow. But yeah, there's a lot of games where we do not score goals. In fact, we really, really struggled. Confirmation of the playoffs at the bottom. But that is, wow, that's probably one of the closest run things in before getting relegated. We did manage the third round of the German Cup, losing 2-0 to Cologne in the end after beating Dortmund 2-1. And of them 22 goals or what have you, 10 goals scored by our goal scorers. 15 in fact, but... well, actually, no. 14 by our 2 strikers. I mean, it's really bad. that they do need... I think the formation has to change. There's no two ways about it. How did Lee Buchanan do? There he is. 38 games. Nothing exciting, but it looks pretty good, though. I mean, some of these players still look pretty good. I just think the formation is all wrong. So... let's have a look quickly what we're going to be spending. Up to £3.5 million. We've got some wages budget as well on top. Yeah, they're not particularly bothered about who we bring in, so we could pick any age. So that's going to help us a little bit. I think it's all about survival and trying to get near the top as close as possible. We made use of our budget and a little bit more to bring it in. Dragowski, the Polish goalkeeper, 6'3", 26 years old, £2.5 million from Spezia. A replacement for our other number 1 goalkeeper who's in his 30s now. In the end, we did let him go because we brought Dragowski in, but he looks really, really good. And at only 26 years old as well, he's got many years left in him. Another £2 million signing. We bring in from Wolfsburg, one of our rivals. We bring in Kevin Paredes, winger, and his acceleration pace will help us no end. And he's only 20 years old, with which he can only get better and better, with a great potential as well. Although his potential abilities only 4 more than his current ability, which I think he can expand on that a little bit more. So hopefully watch this space. Then we enter the realm of freebies. Antoine Bened, midfielder, 24 years old. We needed more bodies in the central defence. I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost, potentially. With still a bit of potential in him as well, quite a lot actually. And with his stats as well, it doesn't look too bad. He is relatively 4th choice in the midfield, but I think he can rise up there to at least challenge Gruev and Stage. We pay 130,000 for Yavi and Tiveros, a winger, another one, but I want him to play on the right hand side, but we'll see what happens. He's more left footed, I guess. Great potential, still looking to increase. His stats don't look that bad. He's got some flair, he can take penalties as well, and he can shoot from distance, which is quite nice. Can he cross the ball? 14, it's not bad at all. We pick him up from Villarreal B team, and for 130k, I think that's quite cheap. So overall, we spent £4.8 million. We let go 1.9. Notably, our goalkeeper, where's he gone? Yuri Pavlenka, he's gone to Al Garafa for £1.3 million in the end. A couple of others like Stocker, he's gone for 375,000 to Bayern Leverkusen. And our other goalkeeper, Frisch, he's gone to Darmstadt for 115 up to 275,000 as well. And Schmidt as well for 450,000. I've just realised I've not done that in any sort of order. But 1.9 million in, so a net spend of just under £3 million. That's pretty good. Tactically, we are going to be rocking this type formation. I wanted a 4-4-2, but also play wingers as well. And this was a compromise. I think this is the best we probably can do. We conceded more goals than scoring. It probably still doesn't help us with goals. As you can see, Paredes has scored a goal already. And yeah, that is about it. Our next focus will be getting in a striker for next season. This season we'll have to make do with what we have. And that seemed to have worked so far. The wins that came along were 3-2, 1-1 with Wolfsburg. For some reason, we seem to be playing them in the friendlies now. I don't know whether it's in the contracts or something because of a certain player. I don't know. But in the Pokal first round, we win that 1-0 with Vlahovic netting after 4 minutes. Mainz we beat 2-0. Augsburg we win 2-0, both at home, and a 0-0 away at Frankfurt, which, to be honest, we've not conceded a goal yet. How long this is going to last, I don't know. We only lost one game last season. We ended up fighting relegation. I'm hoping it's not going to be the same case this time round. We are lying in second position. Not conceded a goal yet. We've only scored 4 though, but 7 points. It's a good start. We only amassed 33 points last season. Bayern Munich, top of the table, as you probably would have guessed. Dortmund are lying in 9th position after one loss against Hertha Berlin. Stuttgart, HSV and Darmstadt at the bottom currently. Has that changed our ratings? 150 to 1. We're still in the mix at the bottom of the table. If only we can improve our position each season and get some decent players in, only that will improve them. But I'm hoping to get into at least the top 10 and maybe a bit higher, which would be amazing. We've got 4 seasons to go, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do that and hopefully get it in this season alone. But Bayern Munich, wow, 10 out of the 11 positions occupied in the Dream 11. Let's get on with it. Season 2 coming right up. We'll be straight back. We didn't get involved in a relegation fight this season, so that's a massive improvement as well. Knocking out 3 wins in the last 5 games as well. We're not that far off a top 10 finish either. 2 points in it. We get 10 wins this time, 11 draws, 13 losses. Again, massive improvement, but goals is an issue. 29 goals scored, more than last season, but only 29. I think it's the 4th least goals scored in the division, and that's poor. If we need to get up to the top 10, we are not going to make it. We only conceded 41 goals though, so that's not too bad. Once again, we're not in the top 6 for anything apart from Dragowski's 13 clean sheets and 2 off Leipzig's and Frankfurt's goalkeeper. Wow, okay, my hat off. Well done him. So we know we started off pretty well. We were near the top and then we kind of just faded away with just losses, draws, wins. Very sporadically, but it just comes in with at least one of them in each month virtually. Loss, draw and a win. Loss, draw and a win. Loss, draw and a win. 3 draws and a loss there. Equivalent to a win and a loss. Nothing heavy. Leipzig beat us 4-1 there. Bayern Munich beat us 4-1 there. We did draw with Bayern Munich earlier on in the season though. And we beat Mönchengladbach 3-0 last game of the season, despite losing to Dortmund and Bayern Leverkusen. But we beat Stuttgart and Darmstadt. Okay, I mean, I'd say it's we're going in the right direction, at least anyway. We don't seem to be getting very far in this German Cup though, losing to Stuttgart 3-2. Goals scored, Füllkrug, 15 goals. And after that, nothing. It's poor. I'm not going to lie, it's very, very poor indeed. And I've just noticed Dragowski, 38 goals in 33, but he's injured. He's out injured for 6 months. That's going to hurt us a lot. So where are we? June, July, August, 3 months. So he won't be back until November, December. That is a huge, huge loss. And our other goalkeeper did play 3 games. He's delighted. I'm not surprised he's delighted. 6 goals in 3. We're going to have to look for another goalkeeper, aren't we, if we haven't got one for 6 months. Although, will our goalkeeper deputise for that long, I'm hoping. We'll have to have a look, see what we've got in the market. So, Finances, what we've been given this time. Wow, okay, £7.5 million. We've got a little bit of wiggle room in the wages budget, not an awful lot. So a striker, possibly a goalkeeper, and maybe another position, possibly. We'll have a look. A striker is what we needed because we were shy of a lot of goals. Over the last couple of seasons we have been struggling, and we decided to bring in Meshchak Elia. The other strikers just would not come to the club. They either just signed new contracts or they got better offers elsewhere, and we struggled. But we bring in a 27-year-old. He's got some experience. Physicals look really good. Finishing's not great, but saying that, he has scored quite a few goals for us already. A hat-trick, however, in the German Cup, so that's good news. At least we know we can put the ball in the back of net. He's our only striker at the moment. We've sent our youngster, I can't remember his name actually. He's gone out on loan. We'll have a look in just a second. But to make the deal even sweeter, he was a free. From Sassuolo for £3.5 million, Christian Torstedt. Yeah, we needed a cam. We're going with a sort of 4-2-3-1 formation with one dropping back in a DM role. But for a cam, we were kind of shy of, and we have players that can fit in that position, but not very good ones, and we decided to bring a one in. A 25-year-old, and I think he looks very, very good as well. I think he'll suit the team pretty well, I think. We then decided we wanted a winger, and we got one with quite good potential, actually. Luca Romero from Lazio, again, £3.5 million. He looks good. I'm not going to lie, he looks better than what we've got at the moment, and we kind of struggle going up front, and we want somebody who's going to assist as well. And at the moment he's got 2 assists already. That was in the German Cup, and he's got a goal already in the league, so I'm really happy with that at the moment. And he's got very high potential. That's all I can think of. I mean, his potential can grow by another 20 points. I mean, that's pretty good, and he's only 19 years old, so we're going to have him for quite a bit, and he's worth 20 million now. So £7 million spent. A couple of freebies coming for the younger teams. 3 million go out. We lose Weiser and Young. They both go for just over £500,000 between the pair of them. Our striker Fulkrug, he's gone to AZ for 1.1. Berg's gone to Regensburg for 775,000, and one of our youngsters has gone to Bayern Munich for £875,000. Dinchi, he's gone to Heidenheim on loan. That's our other youngster. So like I say, just a change of formation. We're going to try this at Segundo Volante role, a bit different to deep line playmaker. That role is primarily a defensive one, best suited to being paired with an anchor. He's going to be paired on his own. We're going to have a Corelio in the centre. We're just going to try different formations out. We're shorter goals. We can't score goals, so we need that to happen. So far, it's gone pretty well. We've scored goals. I mean, it's not been seen in this rebuild so far. 5-1 there, 7-0 there. We don't score goals like that. Then we start to struggle a little bit, but we played Haida in the German Cup first round. We win that 5-0. We score 3 goals against Hertha Berlin in a 3-2 victory. We do lose to Union Berlin away from home. And then we smash Bochum 5-0 at home. I mean, it's just, wow, we've scored goals. We are lying 4th in the table. How long that will last, I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll be in the top 10 at this point. That's where we're aiming to be. And we've drawn Braunschweig in the next round of the German Cup. I probably butchered that name, so I do apologise. The season preview, we were 150 to 1 before. Now we're 200, so we have got a worse side apparently. We'll find out what happens in the next simulation. So let's go and do that. Season 3 coming up. What can I say? The media prediction got it wrong. We finish in 8th position. What an incredible season this has turned out to be. And we're into the Europa Conference League qualifications, I'm thinking. But 15 wins, that's more than the last 2 seasons. 8 draws, 11 losses, but look how many goals we have scored. We've scored 51 goals this season. That's nearly double what we've been achieving in the past couple of seasons. In fact, it's more goals than the previous 2 seasons put together. 5th best goal scorers in the league, considering we have been struggling for the past 2 seasons. That is really, really good. And we're not that far off, really. 3rd spot. 5 points off 3rd spot, and then 8 points off 2nd. I mean, that is really, really good. We still haven't got anybody in the top 6 though, so we can grow on that. We had some very good victories, a 5-0 win over Bochum. Then we beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-1 after that. A draw and a loss. Then we go unbeaten through October with a win and 2 draws. There's some more wins with a loss just to Bayern Munich in that one. We do lose to Cologne and Schalke though, who seem to struggle against. I don't know why, but Dortmund we draw 2-2. All draws in January. A draw and 3 wins. A win over Wolfsburg actually. So we did pretty well against them, Leipzig and Frankfurt, and a draw with Mönchengladbach. We hit a little bit of a dodgy period at the end of March with 3 losses and a loss at the beginning of April as well to Bayern Munich. That could have derailed our season, but we pulled it back with 3 straight wins, Freiburg, Leverkusen and Cologne, without conceding a goal. And then the last couple of games, Schalke again. I just don't know what it is about Schalke. We just cannot beat them for love nor money. But Dortmund, we lose away. Overall, I think that's relatively a not bad season considering we were more attacking formation-wise this time round. The German Cup, we get as far as the quarter-finals, which is a massive improvement. We lose to Hanover 3-1 after extra time, but we needed extra time in the 3rd round. And I mean, relatively the games that we should be beating anyway. But I'm disappointed we didn't get through to the semi-final though, it has to be said. So who scored all our goals? So Elia, he did reasonably well, 17 goals, 6 assists. I mean, it's not brilliant still. However, considering where we've come from, that is really, really good. And we've got 2 other players on double figures as well, Romero and Torsvet as well. That's good. And Romero, 11 assists with it. The 20-year-old has done good. Going into the next season, we're in Europe and £12 million has been given and our wages budget has gone up ever so slightly. So that transfer budget could change if we have to deal out more contracts and to keep the better players. May have to increase that wages budget unless we lose a few more players, which might have to be that way. Those that are not cutting the mark now, we will have to let go. So the first of our signings, we decide to bring in a attacking forward. Either he'll go out on the left wing or in the cam, or he can actually play in midfield as well. But more or less for the left-hand side, it seems to be very, very weak. We didn't have much going on last season as assist-wise and goals, mainly coming from the centre and out the wing as well as our forward. So Pablo Torre comes in for up to £6.5 million from Barcelona. We always have a token freebie, Filippo Meligoni, Italian, to sit in midfield. Again, another young player which can do the job for us. Stats-wise, okay. They're pretty consistent, I'd say, and he's still got some potential left in him. He tries to kill balls quite often, comes from deep to get it, and dictates the tempo, which is pretty good as well. But yeah, in the midfield we've got a very, very solid centre. From one of our rivals, 3.7 million, I think it was, Peru, Nolascion, another Spanish player to sit in the either DM role or at the back. Mainly we just wanted some more bodies in there because I've got a feeling we're going to start losing some of our central defenders because they are looking pretty good, especially Friedel. But £3.7 million, I think is quite expensive. Still got a lot of potential left in him, even though the stars do not say it. But I think he's going to do pretty well at 26 years old as well, 6'1". We'll just throw him in there. And a final signing, pretty much a panic buy really. A Roberto Massimo coming from Stuttgart for just under £1 million to sit on the right hand side. We lost Romero for 7 months. So we had to nip into the market and grab somebody very, very quick. He's yet to play a game for us at the moment. But at 24 years old, he looks pretty decent. And hopefully he'll do a job just to fill in while Romero gets himself back on his feet. So overall in total, £10.5 million spent, 1.6 million sold, with Durkush is going to Moscow for 550,000. Bernardi goes to Cadiz for 900,000. Rapp goes to Darmstadt for 205,000 as well, and Engelhardt goes out on loan. We did release a couple of players as well, namely Bittencourt. He didn't want to sign a new contract. He was on a quite hefty salary, so we decided to let him go. He was in his 30s as well, and to be honest, he was stifling the growth of the younger players. We're staying with our same formation as last season, and it's done pretty well once again. We've just had that one loss in the league against Wolfsburg, But we did beat Hoffenheim 3-2 and Stuttgart 2-0, which is quite nice. And in the Conference League, we did beat Bohemians 5-1 over the 2 legs. And Djurgårdens 5-3 over the 2 legs as well. Which brings us into the Conference League phase, of which we'll play Neftchi. I haven't got a clue how to pronounce that, so I am apologising. Tobel as well. Basel, Altak, Tiraspol and Montpellier. I think that's it. 6 games. Doesn't seem an awful lot there. And we've got Nuremberg in the second round of the German Cup. Just the 3 games played in the league. We are lying in 6th position. 3 behind the leaders at Bayern Munich, who are unbeaten, together with Frankfurt, who are 3 for 3. And Wolfsburg are in there as well. And the season preview, wow. Look at that. We are climbing up that table. It's taken us to the 4th season to do it. But we're now 100 to 1 to win the league. We're not likely to get anywhere near there. But 13th prediction. We want to aim in the top 10 once again. We can do that. Get ourselves into Europe once again. That will be no mean feat. But Bayern Munich are starting to rock a little bit in the Dream 11. They've lost 3 places. There's no Bellingham because he's gone to Liverpool for £91 million. Dear oh dear, what can I say? No Jude Bellingham this season, so maybe we may stand a chance against Dortmund. So without any further ado, let's simulate our 4th season and let's see how we fare this time. Right, we finished a little bit lower than we did last season. 10th position, 12 wins, 11 draws and losses. We only scored 44 goals this time, but it is still more than we did in the previous 2 seasons. We did concede 42, which isn't too bad considering we are going a little bit more attacking. So same as last season, I think, goals conceded, but a goal difference of 2. At least we're in the plus. 47 points and we're 4 points off 7th place. However, if you look right next to 10th, we are in the Europa League, which suggests there's a trophy incoming. And Elia is on the board for one of the leading goal scorers, joint 4th with 16, only 5 off Gnabry from Bayern Munich. Our league form, it's sporadically losing the odd game or 2. There's a Bayern Munich loss there. There's no real big scores, quite a lot of draws once again. Hoffenheim will beat 3-0. Wolfsburg will lose. We tend to lose to Wolfsburg quite a bit as well as Schalke. We'll see how we did against them as well. Bayern Munich, we lost 6-0. Wow, a drub in there. And we played Dortmund straight after. I mean, that's unfortunate. We don't score a goal for 3 games though. Wow. We get back to winning ways against Hertha. Firth, we win 3-0. Leipzig, we lose. We lose to Freiburg there. But we beat Schalke 3-1. Okay, that's good. Did we play them earlier on in the season? We drew 0-0. Okay, we're unbeaten against Schalke this season, so that's a massive improvement as well. We do lose to Bayern Munich at the end of the season, but overall, it's not bad. We do come away with 3 wins, though, in April. The German Cup, we get as far as the quarter-final, losing to Leipzig 1-0 in the 36th minute, and that's after beating Bonn, Nuremberg and Borussia Mönchengladbach 4-1 emphatically as well, actually. However, we do get to the final of the Conference League and we win it 3-1. What a fantastic goal by Friedel there. Wow. 3-1 win over Villarreal. Only our 2nd European success. The last one being in 1992, which was the old Cup Winners' Cup. But this was our entry into the Europa League by winning this competition. So we have finally won a trophy. It didn't really look that well at the beginning of the rebuild, but something tells me we are on to good and better things now, with the final goal coming from Torsveld and a wonderful looping header as well. Fantastic stuff. In the league format, we did lose the 1 game. That was against Montpellier 1-0, but we do finish 5th overall. Again, not too bad. Only conceding 2 goals, scoring 16. But our wins coming against Sheriff, Altak, Basel, Double and Neftchi, with an 8-0 win over Basel actually. Wow. Just that 1 loss in the league stage. Other than that, we've had an unbeaten campaign. Sparta, Rotterdam, we beat 5-1 over the 2 legs in the round of 16. Montpellier, we get our own back on them, beating them 7-3 overall. And then Sassuolo 3-2 with that home victory taking us through to the final. How did our players better? So Elliot, 24 goals this season. I'm sure that's going to have a European success in there as well, surely. We did have 3 players on double figures, but this time we've got 4 with Torstvedt on Teveros because Romero was out injured for like forever. And our new signing Pablo Torre as well. 11 goals, 14 assists. Wow. Did Romero play at all in the end? I was hoping he would have done. 22 games he played in the end with 5 goals, 3 assists. Fantastic. I mean, we have got some very, very good players. But our stand-in, 12 goals, 7 assists. I tell you what, 4 players on double figures. That's amazing. And Dragowski back in the fray with 54 conceded in 52. So going into next season, £24 million with about £40,000 a week in wages. We may have to tie some people down. That transfer budget could go down, but wages, yeah, we have to have that increased at some point. I'm going to ask and see if we can increase the transfer revenue as well, because that may help. Going into the final season, and we spend our record transfer spend, apparently. Odilon Casuno, he comes to the club from Real Hispalis for £4.5 million. Another £5 million spent on Noel Esco Nikili. We wanted him before, the 20-year-old. He can play DM or midfield or at the back as well. Got great potential. And he comes from Bayern Munich second team. And from Clermont for £5 million, Alidu Seidu. Play centre back as well. Not bad and very, very cheap. Going a little bit up in price, Valentin Carboni. Cam roll or a winger. 21 years old from Inter Milan for £8.5 million. Again, potential looks very, very healthy indeed. And a final signing from Montpellier for just under £11 million. We had to go in for another striker. We've really got none. And Nino fits the bill superbly. Great potential again. Finishing is fantastic. He hasn't scored any goals in competitive games so far though. So like I said, it's a record spending this window. £32 million spent. However, we did bring in £21 million. A lot of players going out the window. £6 million Vekovic has gone to Atletico Pamplona. Bilbao take Nalascoen for just under £7 million. Agu, our right back, has gone to Real Hispalis. He wanted to leave, causing a stink. We had to let him go. 3.8 million. Very cheap and not very happy. He's gone for that price, to be fair. Gruev has gone to KSC for 3.4 million, and Stark, our defender, has gone to Schalke. We'll see how that goes. I'm not happy that he's gone to Schalke in the end because he didn't want to go there, but he chose them ahead of 13 other teams of £2.5 million. Pre-season has gone pretty well. We've scored goals, a 5-2 and a 7-0 thrashing there. We did lose to Wolfsburg though in a friendly, which was quite bizarre, but we did score 2 goals but conceded 4. We start off the German first round against Hanover. We win that 5-1. We draw with Wolfsburg and Stuttgart away from home, but we beat Darmstadt 2-1 at home. The Europa League, however, sees us pit our wits against Sporting, Lille, Besiktas, Feyenoord, ASSE, Midtjylland, Rangers and Roma. We are in 8th position at the moment, unbeaten, 2 points behind the current leaders Bayern Munich. And this season's preview sees us climb up to 12th position, 50-1. So it could be anywhere between 8th and 14th with them odds. Bayern Munich haven't got their own way again. It is Leipzig who have brought in a couple of players, and who's at Frankfurt as well. So 1, 2, 3, again 3 places which they have not occupied in the Dream 11. So let's simulate for the final time. Season 5 coming up. Fingers crossed we can capitalise on our good form of late and the European trophy we won from last season. media odds have been defied once again. We finished in our highest position in this rebuild. 6th position, a Europa League place as well. Our highest points tally this rebuild. And we've done really, really well. 10 losses, 16 wins, 48 goals. We still struggle to score goals, and that has been an issue all this rebuild. Our league form wasn't too bad actually. Going into December, we'd only lost 2 games. That's to Cologne and Regensburg, surprisingly. 2 games I feel like we should have won, after, even though we beat Bayern Munich and Borussia Mönchengladbach. I mean, they're the games that really we don't tend to win very often, but great to win those, but to lose the other games seems very disappointing. Then we lose 3 on the bounce to Leverkusen, Dortmund and Augsburg, the teams that did finish above us eventually. Frankfurt we beat 1-0, a 4-1 victory over Darmstadt, who got relegated. Schalke, again, a loss. It's just, it's been poor this season against them, but thankfully the losses didn't come that often, but when they do come, they come in clumps. But again, towards the end of the season, we falter and we just run out of steam. Maybe the European games are taking its toll. Pity it can't be said about the German Cup. We just don't do well in it at all, losing to Hoffenheim 2-1. They narrowly escaped relegation. Hanover we beat in the first round, but the second round, yeah, again, a poor showing in the domestic cup. Europa League, we qualify in the last 16 in 8th position, only just though, with the loss to Roma. We draw with Feyenoord and Lille, but we beat Rangers, Midtjylland, ASSA Besiktas 7-1, wow, and Sporting. Very, very good indeed. United finish 2nd behind Inter Milan, who go 8 for 8. Roma ahead of us, Marseille. So in the last round of 16, we play Lille. We win 5-4 in the second leg. 119th minute from Nino, who scored a hat-trick in that game. Fantastic. Of which we played Marseille, another French team, in the quarterfinals. We win that 3-2 overall. And then we play Manchester United in the semi-final, losing the away leg 3-0. But we do win the second leg, Carboni getting the winner in that one, but it just wasn't enough to see us through to the final. The final was won by Real San Sebastian on penalties, but overall another good campaign in Europe. And I think definitely we are starting to get a little bit of a reputation, hopefully. Our squad, Nino gets 20 goals for the season in 28 starts, 13 for Torre, Romero as well, 13 goals. I mean, we have had 5 players now on double figures with Torsfeld, Elia, Romero, Torre and Nino. Fantastic. And a couple of assists as well. 64 goals conceded by Dragowski. Maybe he'll need replacing at some point. But other than that, our players have done relatively well. The Bayern Munich star that we picked up from their second team played 46 games with 1 assist. Cosino, 9 starts. He played in the back. Mbom as well, 5 starts. Did everybody play a game this season? Apart from Engelhardt, great use of a big squad there. Staffing wise, it has got better. It has increased an awful lot, so that's good news. Our bank balance, £47 million. That's because we're finishing higher up the table. £30 million in the transfer market as well. Any debts or loans? We've got a £3.5 million transfer debt. 6.25 bank loans still to pay off, no interest. So that's where we're going to be leaving it on this rebuild. Thank you very much for joining me and watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you again on the next rebuild.